Well, praise the Lord. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. So praise the Lord for that. I'm going to talk to you about two things. One of them will be the title of this video, something about the one person I saw that I felt wanted to be homeless or was okay with it. We'll get to him. But also, before we get to him, I'm just going to loop in a cause and a issue that's more important than that story. It's an issue, something I'll be passionate about probably going forward in my videos. I'm just so inspired. I'm feeling like just having a great day today. It's on our homeless women and children in this country. And it's something that I did experience and coalescing at the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless when I saw women about my age out there waiting early in the morning and so cold. And I thought, when you're a man and you're homeless, it's very gender. You don't interact. I never did. And I'm a gay man. So it was just when we crossed paths. And it's something where I'm very passionate about them eradicating homelessness for women and children, probably ahead of our U.S. veterans. Wouldn't you agree that the reason we have a military is to protect and defend our American women and children? It's something also I experience more and more in my day-to-day now. Because over there at 7-Eleven, oftentimes there'll be a homeless woman right there. And this is something where I hope to empower people. We'll get to that story about the one guy that I think wanted to be homeless. I know that would probably intrigue people, and it's a good story, actually. We'll get to it, I promise. But I wanted to talk about this in the same video. And if you are in this situation where you're at like a gas station, even if you're outside this country, you'd be in Canada, there's homeless people everywhere. What I encourage you, think along these lines. So, in small ways I can help. I walked out of the gas station yesterday, got a pack of cigarettes, and immediately I lit one, because that's what you do. And this homeless woman came up to me and asked for a cigarette, and I gave her one. So I've been thinking about things like that. And if you are, that's something you could do. I just did it yesterday. But you probably want to maybe take it a step further than that. Or here's some ways I could see this going. If you are like right there at a convenience store, or if you're happy to be right here in Denver, for example, at 7-Eleven Capitol Hill, you know what I'm talking about. And here's some things I was just thinking of. It's like you could use that moment, and probably it's going to be a woman, might be real skinny, it's summertime, they're more, I would say, visible in the hot summertime. You can maybe tell, or you could just ask them. They're asking you for spare change or something. Yeah, they're probably homeless. So what you could do in that situation, even if you're not a smoker, or here's some recommendations I thought that I could share with the world. You could, if you're not a smoker, ask your doctor for nicotine patches. They're pretty much available for free somehow everywhere. I'm sure you could find information on where you live about that. But have you pack of patches? I would get like 2 of them. Maybe different milligram sizes. I think I use the 14 milligram. I have been smoking for half my life, so they probably want the 14 milligram. But just have you a couple packs in your glove box, even if you're not a smoker, and have them when you are encountering somebody that might be a homeless woman, like right there at a convenience store. And, she might ask for spare change, and you could just say, or if she smokes cigarettes, something around tobacco uh, could be how this conversation starts. So you could say, what kind of cigarettes do you smoke? I will buy you a pack, but will you also take a pack of patches? She probably will. And, so if you're against smoking, just understand you're helping a woman who's going through hell. She's going to get cigarettes anyway. And if you will help her and talk to her for a few minutes, you could find out what kind of cigarette she likes, buy her a pack. She's going to smoke a cigarette right then, I promise. And while she's smoking a cigarette, give her the patches and just ask her, do you need something to eat? Maybe a hot meal? Because your SNAP, she might have a SNAP card, no money for cigarettes. She might love a piece of pizza or some chicken wings and something to drink. You could do that. You could explain to her, you can't do this only one time or whatever the situation, whatever you're comfortable with. But you could also ask her in a very nice, kind, general way, I would like to pray for you. Can you tell me your name? And is there anybody you love I could pray for? Open that conversation in a gentle way, because I promise you, every single homeless person, except for that one guy, I'll get to him, they're always praying themselves for someone they love, or what has caused them. There's always a Tom Acosta type situation. They didn't become homeless like they just walked out of their house and was like, I'm just so tired of having a house, I think I want to be homeless. I never encountered that, especially with the women. So I would just say, ask them, you like to pray for them? But if there's something specific or someone that you could pray about their name and whoever it is or whatever's what they wish for or hope for, if they have children or whatever their goal is, maybe that could lead to they already know where they'd like, let's say you're in Chicago and this woman's just hoping and wishing she could get back to Cleveland, Ohio. Well, if she gives you that information, we could pray for it right now. Maybe you could help her get to that next goal. I think we could all be doing things like that. And just saying, maybe it's just, I'll pray about it. I'll ask somebody else if they can help. Would you be back here? Maybe you could buy them another pack of cigarettes in a few days. Just say you'd be back here at the same time. And you can't promise anything, but maybe we'll pray about it again. Maybe you could bring a friend or some gentle way like that. It helps give people hope. And you can be honest with them on whatever degree you're comfortable with. But I think if this nation had an explosion of loving cares like that, particularly for our homeless women, that would be great. Also, you could carry it with you, condoms. A Starbucks gift card would be great. I think Starbucks Corporation needs to be rewarded for all that free water they gave the homeless people. You can give her a $15 Starbucks card. However you would like to do it, you can split it up into $5 Starbucks cards. But that's a good place. Also, maybe you're a person that could just have the Greyhound app on your phone, and you could look up the rates right there, and you could say, we'll get you maybe my church or something. It's possible. You could do things like that. So just help a homeless woman right now when it's summertime before it gets so cold. That might be a really good thing to do. Greyhound was also a company that got me in a marvelous position, and they're the people that help homeless people a lot. Also, Amtrak, really good. For $500, you can get the Amtrak Rail Pass, which is to 10 destinations. Maybe if you are somewhat empowered to say, I would love to hear this woman's story, and I want to buy 2, maybe it's you and your spouse or however, you could support Amtrak which immediately made me feel like I wasn't homeless. Maybe you could just ask this woman if she needs to get somewhere. Maybe you could offer to help get her there in exchange, for free, and in exchange, plan a trip. As soon as you go in and think about trying this out, maybe you could ride with her, with your family or something like that. Back in the day, Tom Acosta liked to help people like that. And he would help hitchhikers, which could be dangerous. A lot of times they were men. Dangerous looking men. But helping a homeless woman on Amtrak get to her destination, things like that, would be great. Be really good. Maybe she would love something like an Airbnb. Maybe you have an Airbnb. Something to think about. I think like a church-oriented, we're helping a homeless woman or two in a tiny house because we're going to help them get onto their destinations, or this is a, great ideas there. Maybe if you have young kids, maybe you could build a tiny house for a woman and help her defeat homelessness that way. What a great thing for a church or organization with kids to do. So please leave comments on things like that, ways you've helped, or other suggestions. We'll do more videos like this. Condoms, pain reliever, anything at the convenience store, anything that's going to help that woman with her immediate need. Maybe a first aid kit, tampons. I don't know, I'm not a woman, but just sunscreen. Maybe you could have a little bag of just a little tiny backpack, womanly colored. I don't know exactly. I remember I had that problem at San Francisco with that yellow bag. San Francisco did not like that yellow bag. Maybe it needs to just be, canvas colored or black or whatever. Whatever. However it works for you. Maybe there's people out there with comments who could tell us what homeless women prefer. Something with their name on it. If it has a name for a name badge, be good. If you have like an old phone or tablet, maybe you could get familiar with the homeless shelter, volunteer there, wherever you're at, doing the meals and stuff. Talk to the people there, find out what is needed. It's possible this video, you're watching it in this wintertime, right? 6 months from now. So that would be good. That'd be good. Okay, let's get to the one guy that, while I was homeless across America for 725 days, from Atlanta to San Francisco, the one guy that I found that appeared to be satisfied and happy, and the only person that I ever met that was like that. It was in Huntington, West Virginia. And I would like to do more videos talking about my experience in Huntington, West Virginia. That was right after I got back to West Virginia with my own 2 feet, after I was surviving that interstate kidnapping. And I was at the homeless shelter there, which was a smaller organization, the smallest homeless shelter I was at. And there was this guy. He had strawberry blonde hair. He was probably about 23 years old. And he was I would say, class clown, but he was definitely the life of like the mealtime grouping of people. He was the character that had the charm and the smile and just good-natured demeanor. And the reason he seemed to be happy being homeless was because for him, it appeared to be like a walkabout or a journey where he was taking a year off. And it wasn't, I think he always had like, if things get real bad, I know I can call mom. But he wanted to see America. And so I did not want to be homeless across America. But he was from Arizona, and he was traveling. and the way he was traveling was in a dangerous way, but it was his way. He was like hitchhiking, and he would just show up at a homeless shelter, and then he would just be a real free bird. He was kind of a hippie kind of guy. I think he had a guitar, and he was really like, can be a loner and have that spirit, but also could immediately just kind of make friends with everybody. I'd like to see if I could ever reunite with him and see if he could be in a video and say Nathan's right, or no, that wasn't the way it is. Maybe he was just having one day but that was my understanding of him. That I think he was maybe a college dropout, and he was just, kind of rejecting, the way of life, that he was unsatisfied. And have you seen that movie called The Wild, where that guy goes to, I think, Alaska? It was kind of a guy kind of like that. So we are going to hope and care and pray for the best for him. Maybe he could definitely be a light and inspiration. Maybe you could ask a homeless woman, have you ever met anybody like him? Or show them this video. Seriously, that would be great. Maybe you could leave a comment saying you had an encounter with a homeless woman. Maybe she watched the video, had her thoughts on it. It would be really enlightening to see how this channel can help the world. So, wanted to tell you about that. Those two things. And let's hope and care and pray for the best to eradicate homelessness all across the world. And I thought of some tips on my way back home. This is where I live. I'm one of the lucky ones. Real lucky. I thought of some more ideas that we could go on. I'm sure this video could be redone and expanded, but a couple more tips on helping homeless women, like at a convenience store. Number one, thought I should include this in the video. If you're going to buy tobacco for somebody, do they appear over the age of 30? Pretend like you work at a convenience store. Ask to see their ID. If that's a good thing to do. It's a good way to check to see if they have an ID. If they don't, maybe if you want to go a step further, be familiar with the process, where to get a voucher. Maybe you could, if it's, not far away or wherever it is, if you want to call them an Uber and say, well, I know you can get a voucher right now at wherever, maybe you could call them an Uber, get them a snack, a pack of cigarettes, and then help them, immediately go get them a voucher. Maybe one step, and you'll be helping them. Maybe it's a transportation issue, maybe somehow they need money to get back from when they get the voucher. However it would work out in your area. But be familiar with what they would need to get the voucher and be on that next step. Maybe it could be like in Colorado, I know that you need to make a DMV appointment as soon as you can make it. Even if you don't have the voucher, you can maybe make them the DMV appointment with them while you're waiting on the Uber. However that could work out. Number two, thought about this very specifically. If you would like to do this, I think it would be a great thing. You could be somebody that has never had a cigarette, drank, or drug in your life. And you could still make a way to an AA or NA meeting. I promise you, they're going to welcome you. And you could just say, hi, my name is Rhonda, or Bill, I'm a boomer, or whatever. Make them laugh. They're going to like that. And just say that you are here because you'd like to be instilled and prepared to maybe, introduce yourself to the group and say that you feel called by watching this video and, have prayed about something like this to happen. And you might one day encounter a homeless woman at a gas station, and if it's like the meeting starts, 15 minutes later, the same time every week or something, you could just plan on, if that happens. So it's very convenient to lead this homeless woman. If you give her a snack or something like that, and just ask her, hey, I'm about to go to a meeting. Would you like to go with me? You're going to immediately put that woman in a group of people who are likely also going to be empowered to help her and have more skills and knowledge and resources that you will. And that would be a great thing to do, so it's not all by yourself. You could always say you're there because you know somebody that was someone you love. And if you don't know anybody in your life that you loved that was impacted by drinking or drugs, we all know who Elizabeth Whitney Houston was. We all know who Michael Jackson was. We all know somebody that was. So you could do it for whoever it was you love. If you can't think of anybody, them two's two good examples. How about that? One other thing I thought of, if it's, again, a homeless woman, the ones here at 7-Eleven appear to be very, very skinny, appear to be under the influence of crystal meth. Maybe they're not at the moment, but if you suspect that, here's something you could do without even having to ask them. This is a tip that you should know. I think this should be taught in health classes. Ice cream is really good for everybody in the hot summer, but anything with dairy products, if you are high on crystal meth, it will bring you down. And if you use crystal meth, calcium and dairy products are still really good for your body at that time. It's good to encourage dairy products. See if she'll take a thing of milk. Also, of course, Gatorade, electrolytes, preferred over like a Pepsi or Coke or Mountain Dew. Get her something with electrolytes. Try to go that angle, vitamin water, whatever that preference would be. The 7-Eleven Gatorades are half price of the Gatorades, and they're really good. So buy one for yourself. Maybe that'd be like buy one, get one free or something, right? And then another really good tip. You could always kind of sneak this in. Like, I just love eating pickles. Seriously, buy like one extra one by mistake or whatever. Or bananas, but pickles are even better. See if she has a preference for pickles or bananas. Because I know on crystal meth, pickles have potassium and they have more of it than a banana does. If she ever has muscle cramps, again, if you're suspecting drug use, it's a good lead-in to go into a meeting. She will feel better if she's using crystal meth. If she has a pickle, banana, and some dairy products, will immediately start making her body feel a lot better. And that is going to be a sign of care that will come unsuspected if she doesn't know about that. And it will just be, you can just, be really nonchalant about it and just be like, my husband loves pickles and I bought 3 of them. Do you want one of them? Or however you want to do that. See if she likes the hot and spicy ones. However you can do that to bring a warmth and gentle and kindness and a smile and give her an aura of hope and let her know that she's not alone and that you're not judgmental. And things like that would be really good. All right. It's more wild. It's more wonderful. You never know on this channel, and sometimes I don't either. But I thought of one more great idea, especially if you are like one of them rich lady boomers at the country club with your luncheon after tennis or something like that. Maybe you could be one of the people. Maybe your mom is. You never know. Maybe your aunt or granny is. For people like that, here's what you can do. You can go and get you some bus tickets. It's a great thing to do. I think this is the best thing ever. I'll have to make a whole nother video about this. But public transportation in America needs more money. And if you just paid off your Cadillac, whatever your payment was, just go. If you have a Cadillac, your payment was $900. Just go and buy yourself $900 worth of bus tickets. They will love it. They will be so happy wherever the transit place is to buy your buy your little packs like this, and then go to your rich lady events, church, or wherever, if you're a pastor, good idea too, and just say, you're going to give out a bus ticket. Maybe this could be like, I'm thinking of like large churches, in your, papers today underneath your pew bench is some bus tickets. And we want you to give them away as soon as you can, and encourage you to buy more of them. And maybe you can have a testimony of our rich lady country club boomer who's just like, I just paid off my Cadillac, and I made one more payment, and I paid for it on these bus tickets, because not everybody has a Cadillac, but I'm so happy I might just buy another $900 of bus tickets next month. This is so much fun. You never know. There's people out there who need them. And if you get high in life by buying bus tickets, that'd be a great addiction. It truly would.